up, and welcome back to the Mama's Review. I thought it would be fun to sit down and talk to you guys about 10 tips and tricks for new moms, or even some moms that already have had babies. Just some stuff that I've learned along the way. So let's get started. So one of the very first things that I learned as a new mom is there will be blowouts. And what I mean by blowouts, if you don't already have children, is I mean poop coming out of all different areas of the diaper. Now, we cloth diaper, and for the most part we're fine, but they do happen. So one very cool feature with any of these onesies, or for the most part, most of the onesies, some of them have snaps on the side here, but for most of them, they have these little flaps on the very top by their neck. And what those are actually for is you can pull and expand each side really, really wide, so that if your baby does poop, you can pull it down over their shoulders and off of their body this way, as opposed to unsnapping the bottom and pulling everything above their head. So that's one really great tip for people who do not want to deal with a lot of poop. So the next thing would be coconut oil. I am a big fan of coconut oil. I used it a ton of different ways. One big thing that I did is I used it as nipple cream as opposed to any sort of other nipple cream. All I would do is I would keep it in a little Tupperware container like this and keep it on any stand that I had. So on his nightstand and on my nightstand, anywhere that I was going to be nursing. And that way, after I was done nursing, I could rub a little bit of coconut oil onto my nipples, and they never cracked, nothing. I never felt pain. It was really, really awesome, and I knew exactly what was going into Jacob's mouth. My next tip would be your own breast milk. If you are a breastfeeding mom, go ahead and use that for seriously anything and everything. If they've got a sore, express a little bit of breast milk and put it on the sore. If they've got cradle cap, use it for their cradle cap. If they've got any sort of chapped or cracked or anything, you know, their lips are chapped or anything like that, go ahead and use that for their lips. You can actually even express your own breast milk and use it on your nipples as nipple cream. So use that stuff. It is liquid gold. Another thing that I would say to new moms is to get on a routine. Now, I always thought like, oh, you know, he's gonna be part of our life, he's gonna blend into our routine. My son is very routined, and he sleeps way better since we developed a really good routine. He's just happier in general when we have a really good routine. So I would say, find a routine that works really well for you and your family and try to stick to it as best as possible. One huge tip that actually saved me a ton of money was my friend made me really big receiving blankets. She just got some fabric and, you know, hemmed the edges so that they were all like nice and not fraying. And I was able to use those as, you know, big swaddle blankets for him. They were awesome for swaddling because I could really have a lot of blanket to wrap around him. I could also use that as a nursing cover. I would just tie two of the corners together, throw it over my head, and nothing ever showed. I would use it as a car seat cover. So that's something that's, if you are kind of handy, or you know somebody who's kind of handy, is just pay somebody to make you some really big receiving blankets. I promise you will not regret it, and it'll save you money on, like I said, nursing covers and the car seat cover. Seriously, invest in that. Another thing that I'll say is gas is one of the biggest things, and I have a few videos on gas, and I'll make sure to have those all linked down below for you guys. But seriously, gas can be such a headache. So two things that really worked for me. One was the probiotic drops. I have a video on that on my channel. And also, once your baby has fed, whether that's bottle or breastfeeding, you're gonna take them and tuck their little legs up like this, place them back to your chest, and then hold their little tummy and kind of just rock them nice and steady back and forth. You'll be able to not only hear kind of an air bubble sliding through, you'll also be able to feel it. That was one of the best ways to burp my son. Everybody else said, you know, put him over your leg like this, or put him over your shoulder, or whatever. I had never heard of rocking them like this before with a little bit of pressure on their tummy. Like I said, you'll be able to feel it and hear it, and that worked wonders for my son. So go ahead and give that a try with your little one. One tip that is almost crucial to a new mom, it's one of the scariest things in the world, is clipping their tiny little nails. What I would do is I would clip his nails when he was nursing or sleeping. That was what I found was the easiest way to do it. If you're just holding him and he's fallen asleep, don't try to clip them when he's wide awake and he's moving around, because you're gonna pinch one of his little fingers and you're gonna feel awful. Trust me, I've done it. I cried when he cried. One awesome tip that I got from one of the nurses when we were being discharged from the hospital was there's not really a thing as nipple confusion if you do it right. So she said, always offer the boob first. So if you're a mom that's afraid to give your baby a soother or give your baby a bottle, take these tips and seriously they will work. So what she said is anytime they are looking like they're hungry or they're, you know, trying to soothe themselves or whatever, they're really fussy, offer them the boob first. And if they're on, off, and don't really want anything, go ahead and give them that soother. The same thing with feeding a bottle. Just do it very minimal. Like if you need to do it, do it very, very minimal and try to not be you that feeds them the bottle. Make sure that dad or grandma or grandpa or whoever's around feeds them that bottle. That way they're associating you with the boob milk and somebody else with the bottle milk. Another big tip for breastfeeding moms is vitamin D. Now, people who do formula and stuff, most of the time that has the vitamins that they need in it, so you don't really have to worry about it. But they don't get vitamin D or enough of it when they're nursing, and so that's something that you gotta give. So we give these drops to Jacob. It's 1 drop a day, or you can do 2 drops a day. That's what we used to do when he was really little, and it just helps give him that vitamin D that he needs in his system. And my last little tip or trick that I learned at my 6-month appointment with my health nurse is to start brushing their teeth right away. I know that that sounds crazy because they don't really have teeth to brush, but if you can get one of these either from your health nurse or from the hospital, or you might even be able to find them online or something, they just slide right on your finger and they've got little bristles on them that are nice and soft, and you're just going to rub those along their gums because they're going to fill up with milk and all of that sort of stuff, and you want to make sure that their gums are healthy. You don't have to really scrub, just brush really nice and lightly all over the gums just to make sure that they're clean once or twice a day. Anyway guys, that's everything. That's all my tips and tricks. Top 10 for new moms and even moms, like I said, that have had a few kids, because I'm sure there's a lot of tips and tricks that I do not know that I would love to get my hands on. So if you guys have any tips or tricks of your own, go ahead and comment down below and let me know. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and we will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.